Hello and welcome to the channel. I have a special video this time. I know I have been absent for a bit and taking some time off because of some issues and personal stuff that came up. So I am trying to get back at it. This month is October now, so I'm going into trying the Inktober and Doomtober together, but this is a totally different video. I was issued a more like nominated for a challenge that has been going around YouTube, and it is the 5-minute landscape watercolor challenge, kind of to try to get people to loosen up with trying not to necessarily spend so much time on a picture, get so much detail, just kind of get more into the swing of things and working a bit quicker. So this was started by Emma Jane Lefebvre. She passed it on to Tara Giblin Art, who nominated Clark Fine Art. Clark Fine Art nominated Art of Joseph Fincham, and he nominated Shanna over at Caution Artist at Play, who gave me the nomination to continue the challenge. I will announce who I am picking at the end of the video, and I have a timer off on the side over here that you won't be able to see because I had to use my iPad for that, so that'll take up too much space if I have it out. Otherwise I would show the timer. I have some Hahnemuhle Harmony hot pressed paper that I'm going to be starting with, and this was of course given to me in a sketch box, so I figured I might as well go ahead and use it. I prefer the idea of using a smaller piece of paper given it's only a 5-minute challenge, so that way hopefully I could get more detail down on a smaller paper. So hopefully this goes well. I don't guarantee that it's going to look very good with it only being maybe like 5 minutes. So, we'll see how this ends up. And I have my Kuretake Gansai Tombi watercolor set for this first painting. So we'll try these out and see how this goes. I haven't done any prepping for like getting the paints wet or anything like that. So hopefully it won't slow me down too much. I don't have a reference image. I'm just going to kind of work at it and see what I come up with as I go. I did have this little tape circle that I had made that I use for like masking off an area, like if I'm doing a landscape for a moon or a sun. So I will be sticking this down and kind of using that. So I'm getting ready to start here. I also have Zen Royal and Lang nickel brushes that I will be using. I'm going to try to just use these 3, which is a size 2, a size 8, and a 3/4 in this cat's tongue brush. So it doesn't really have its point, but I'll try working with these and see what I come up with. All right, getting ready to start the clock now. So why isn't it counting? Hold on. My thing is not wanting to. Oh, there we go. All right, I think I'll stick that right about there. And I'm going to go ahead and wet the paper where I want the skyline to be, just a little bit. And go from there. All right, normally I like to drop in some different colors. We'll go with some pink since I want it to be kind of dusky and I can't really tell where the water is. Probably should have used a bigger brush for this to get it down faster. I might go ahead and do that. I don't want to saturate the paper too much because I don't want it, try not to get it to bleed into each other. That is my main goal. but you never know how that's going to turn out. So I prefer not to. Ideally, you want some time for your layers to dry before adding more color in to other areas, like where the water and the sky meet. And, you know, I don't really have that luxury this time around. And I can't guarantee that it's going to work out very good. And this is not coming out the way I want it to. Normally, it'd be more marbled and swirled, and I would drop them in different places. I just don't have the time for that right now. I will go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of salt over that and try to get it to spread while we're waiting. And then I will go ahead and start on the water really, really quick. And I'm just going to do a quick wash of where I want the water to be. Gonna try to blend. See how that's bleeding into each other? This is exactly what I did not want. But I don't have time to baby it. So I'm just gonna try to work with that. And looks like I'm just gonna be using the big brush, and I'm just gonna kind of brush here and there to get some water effects. Let that dry a bit. Oh, it's so wet. I just don't know how I'm going to get that. All right, while I get the water ready for this, I'm going to multitask here. Forgive the noise. Okay, this is going to bleed like crazy. Oh, try to pull some of that color down. Okay. Yeah, my idea is to kind of add some islands in the background, kind of peeking out. This has got to be super quick too. I don't have time to do the detail, and it's fine that it bleeds in because it actually works for reflections. And it looks like this might be about as much as I get done. And then I'll take a damp brush and kind of try to lift a little bit of color here and there, kind of like where the moon would be. Oh, and or the clouds, and I forgot to lift that tape. Some light gray maybe, and kind of stab in a little bit of color. Oh, it's not as light as I wanted. I was trying to go for kind of a impression of some craters on the moon, and then try to get some color lifted. Oh, and it looks like I ran out of time. So as you can see, this is not a very easy challenge to get done in 5 minutes. So this is what I got done just in that 5 minutes. It's not a lot. It's definitely a challenge. Oops, and now my paper is wanting to tear because it hasn't had time to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this and get ready for the next picture. So this was the hot pressed. I do have some cold pressed I would like to try next and kind of see maybe if it will make a difference in the outcome or not. Oh, see, that's trying to tear there. Of course, my tape wants to tear anyhow. I'm gonna hit this with the hair dryer. I apologize about the noise. The hair dryer just kind of helps unstick the tape to keep it from tearing the paper. And I smudged it with my finger there. Oh, this is a very, very old hair dryer. Okay, so as you can see there's a tear here. I'll go ahead and peel that. And this is what it comes out to look like. Kind of looks like a big mess. So the next paper I'm going to use is the Strathmore Vision watercolor I got from a Palettefull Packs box. And this is the cold pressed aquarelle paper, and it is 300 GSM as well. It's a bit bigger, so I'll have more surface space to try to get down really quick. And I don't really know exactly how well it's going to turn out, but we shall see. I'm going to go ahead and tape this down really quick and go from there. Okay, I am back again for the next one. I went ahead and got the paper taped down. This is actually, I think, a cursed challenge for me, because every time I start recording this, something happens and my camera stops recording it, and I end up losing footage and I have to redo it again. So yeah, it's just, hopefully it turns out well this time. All right, so I got this one ready to go. I went ahead and reset my timer, and I think I'm going to go more of a warm tone, daytime, maybe like a desert scene. Hopefully this works out. I can't guarantee that it will, and I apologize that I blabber on in the videos, because normally I'm not talking my way through the videos. I do mostly time lapse. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer now, and I'm going to go ahead and stick this down kind of in the general area where I want the sun to be. And we're going to start out with a nice yellow background for the sunlight in the sky. And just kind of get some color put down really quickly. And then I'm going to add some warmer tones to it. A little bit of orange, kind of get it in there and pull some of that through. I know this isn't going to have a lot of detail, you know, kind of seen that in the last one, but that's okay. As difficult as this challenge has been, I am enjoying the challenge of trying something different, and this is actually a bit warmer than what I was going for. I put a little bit too much of the darker tones in there, so I'm going to kind of try to take a damp brush and brush it out a bit, lift some of the color so it's not quite so dark. I'm going to go ahead and take my cloth here and kind of dab out some of the color for where the clouds may lay. You know, I'm not an expert in clouds. Clouds are kind of my nemesis when it comes to painting landscapes. They are not easy for me to do, so I'm just going to kind of lift and give like an impression that there's some clouds there, and then I'm going to move on because I only have 3 minutes left already. So this is definitely a lot harder than I anticipated, and I am making a huge mess over here. And I hope that I'm really putting so much water down. That's part of my challenge here. I need to learn not to expect so much water, like just to not use as much. let's get some darker tones in there. Just maybe if I'm gonna try to dab some color on there and hope maybe it'll help give it some texture for the sand, because I got to get this down quickly, and sand is not just evenly spread and smooth. It has texture, so I just want to give impression of texture, and I know I'm working in a huge brush, which doesn't really help the fact, and that's good. See, I'm being too picky about how the texture looks. That's not going to help me get this done. So this is part of my challenge, is learning to let go of the need to get that much detail. I'm hoping that this is not going to really bleed into each other much. I'm going to try to get some impression of like dunes or like mountains in the background. Make a higher elevation here. Try to get it to meet, and it's not water, so I don't have to worry about a reflection. And see, I'm thinking, and I need to just put color down. I know this is supposed to help get initial blocks ends done quicker instead of sitting there thinking about the detail so much, especially when you're just working from your mind. That doesn't really do any good to spend too much time on it. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that. And then maybe I can irk out an imprint of like, maybe there's like some cactuses in the background. This is a big brush for this. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I should switch to this little brush real quick. Oh, my cactuses is terrible. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll add a couple birds, even though, I mean, there's not any. Okay, folks, I'm going to make this short and sweet. It cut out right at the end of the 5-minute mark, and this is what I got done. This is, like I said, a curse challenge for me. It keeps cutting out. I've had this happen so many times, so I'm not even going to try to redo this and do another one. I'm just kind of done at this point. So this is what's done. It's a good lesson to kind of not get so stressed about the details and spend so much time trying to work it, getting frustrated because it's not working out the way you want. It's a good lesson to get it down and kind of take a step back and go, okay, what can I do to make this work and get it to where I want it, and take your time with it. So, but yes, it is nice to get it done quicker, to get to where you're more comfortable and you're not spending so much time in one area. I get the challenge there. But yeah, this is normally a couple hour thing for me. I've done this picture in the past, and I let it dry in between areas, so I didn't have the bleeding issue, and you know, it will turn out looking better. This, where I lifted the tape, it bled under a bit. That's okay. Normally when this happens, I just kind of go in with the brush, kind of pull the color that bled in with whatever else I'm going to add to it to kind of give it the texture of, for like the sun, or if it's the moon for like craters and stuff. So that's workable. It's not a big deal that happened. I didn't want to use masking fluid since I didn't have so much time to deal with the masking fluid and wait for that to dry. So the tape had to do for this. So I'll think about going over this after it sits a bit and dries, and then kind of try to work it up and fix it. I might come back to it later. I have a Inktober prompt that I need to get done for the day. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and seeing me, you know, mess up and not get it looking really good in those 5 minutes each. So, you know, if you feel compelled to give this a try, I definitely recommend it. Try not to let the frustration get to you, because yeah, part of me inside was just like internally screaming because it was not as detailed as I want, and it to me looks kind of like a mess. But you know, could be cohesive enough to others. So that's all personal perspective there. So thank you for stopping by and checking out this video. My nomination is going to Kristy over at Artsy Kristy. Okay, folks, once again it cut. I apologize. I need to just give it up at this point. So I'll leave it here. Like I said, my nomination is going to Kristy over at Artsy Kristy, and I will go ahead and link her channel in the description below, as I don't have a link to her video yet since she's just now going to get the nomination. I will go ahead and link the others' videos below so you can see what they did with their challenge, and hopefully this will continue, and I can't wait to see what Kristy comes up with. Thank you for stopping by and watching. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye. And I will go ahead and link her channel